Well, are we on?
We're live.
No.
We're,
Oh,
we're
now
now
we're
live.
on.
Hello.
Hi there. Well, here we are. We're on my iPad. We're out of town. We didn't know what we were doing. I thought I had started, but then there was. Anyway, regardless, we are here. And my topic tonight is channeling divine consciousness. And I have no idea what I'm going to say. And most of you probably don't even think there is divine consciousness. And sometimes I'm not sure there is either. And what does it mean? Does it have anything to do with God? And why would I even want to talk about it?
Because you do it a lot. That's why.
So that is the topic. Now,
You are an authority.
we do not know. I don't know if I'm going to see the comments or not. I hope that I will see comments. Now,
Elizabeth
in the past, okay, Elizabeth said, hi,
Hi,
Beth
Elizabeth.
and James. Hi, Elizabeth. So I want to get rid of that. Okay, that's wonderful. So my experience is sometimes on the iPad, it makes the comments a little bit shorter. So if you write me a very long comment, I probably won't be able to see it. So anyway, before I take on this ridiculous topic of channeling divine consciousness, I'm going to introduce you to sweet baby James, and he is going to introduce our show.
Well, welcome to Granny Rocks Our World, where we have the opportunity to hear the wit, the wisdom, and the uncommon sense of Granny every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening at this time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So now, without further ado, here's Granny.
Okay, we have a wave from Luann, so we are
Hi.
waving back. And these move fast on the iPad, but hopefully we'll catch everybody as they make comments. So, I don't know why that was the topic. I have been racking my brains for a topic. I thought, well, I could talk about this, but I didn't feel connected to anything. But in fact, I feel kind of spacey. We left home. It's been a long day. Amy says, hi, Beth and SBJ. Hi back, Amy. Yes, a long, tiring day. And I have been feeling in total outer space for the last couple of hours. Todd said hi there.
Hi, Todd.
Hi there, Todd. I'm trying to get grounded with my friends. And we're having a wonderful experience here in Portland, Oregon. The kindness. In fact, I almost talked about, what happens when people are kind? How do we react to that? We went to this medical appointment for James, and the doctor walked in and introduced himself by his first name, which I've always thought doctors should do. I mean, what? They don't have first name. They can't, they're not people. I don't understand that. So, and then the people in the office were kind, and then now we're in an Airbnb, and they're kind, and it's amazing, and we're high up, and we're looking at the river, and we're looking at the trees, and it's just
And
divine.
the mountains in the distance.
The mountains and all of that. So, and I'm feeling like, woo. So I don't know if something is shifting in the universe or I'm having a stroke. I'm not sure which. But
We already checked in on that. You're not having a stroke.
but I'm not sure that's true. But somehow or other, I feel like there is some connection with divine consciousness that is happening to me that is causing me to be in this space cadet response. Now, does that mean that if you're smoking pot and you're feeling woozy, or you're drinking, or you're doing something like that, that means that you're channeling divine consciousness? No, that means that you're in an altered state of consciousness, but that is chemically induced. Channeling divine consciousness, whatever that means, and I'm going to try to figure that out myself shortly, is a natural state. It's not chemically induced. Now, by divine consciousness, I don't necessarily mean God. You know what I mean? Oh, God. You know what God... so many of us have associations. God, an old man, a beard, a lot of rules and regulations, thou shalt not, and thou shalt, and, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And all. I'm not talking about that. I don't think that's divine consciousness. What divine consciousness is... Ooh, the drums are rolling. Because I am now going to find out what I mean by divine. What I'm afraid of is that people see this topic and say, I'm not going to watch that show. I don't even believe in that. Well, watch it. Watch it, guy. So by divine consciousness, I'm talking about the ability to see beyond what's in front of our noses, to see beyond what we see in front of us. Actually, I should say to see beyond what's in front of what we don't see, which is in front of our noses.
Right, and it's either see, hear, sense, or just know.
So I'm talking about, did you get that? It is the ability to see what is right in front of our noses that we don't see. Because we're so dominated by fear and guilt and all of those other things, and self-protection, that we don't see what's in front of our noses.
Okay.
Right? So when we are channeling divine consciousness, that means that we have finally freed ourselves from our egoic reactions. Now, I'd like you to be thinking about when you do this, because I bet you all have, we all have to some degree done this. But I notice that when I'm really in the oneness with somebody, I am experiencing with them instead of judging them.
Yeah.
Now, that's a way of being in divine consciousness. You understand now what I mean by divine? I'm not talking about a religious concept, although some people experience divine consciousness through religion.
Being in a feeling of oneness and connection.
That's right. Being in the feeling of oneness and connection, as opposed to always sitting there outside, judging, getting angry, protecting ourselves, and all of that. See, now, remember I said I wanted to talk about, how does it feel, or what do we do, or how do we feel when people are kind? See, when people are kind to us, what happens to us is we begin to drop our guard. Now, when we begin to drop our guard, then we start to become more in the we, right? And so we're less judging, mutilating, spindling, just observing with our minds, which is what we normally do. It's like, oh, that was so stupid. Or, oh, God, I wish I could do that. Or whatever it is, which is all from the outside. It's like, I'm separate from you, you're separate from me. And so I'm feeling, either threatened by what you did, or I think you're better, or I think you're stupid, or something like that. So that's all very, outside of each other. So what happens when people are kind? It's like you start to lose that defensiveness, and you start to sort of melt a little bit. It's like, those rare moments with family. Some people, it never happens. Some people, it's pretty, awesome that it happens pretty often. Okay, where we feel really connected to a mate, a child, a parent, a friend, someone where you just feel that connection, and you start to relax. When we begin to relax, then we can begin to connect, to go beyond that separation consciousness, and we start to go into a different state of consciousness. It's not that we are necessarily having different kind thoughts. It's that we may not be having any thoughts whatsoever. So many, see, I thought I had a stroke too. So many of our thoughts are negative anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just stop thinking for a moment, you might actually find that you're not feeling negative anymore. You're not judging. You're not spindling. You're not mutilating, right?
More neutral.
You're just more neutral. You're just sort of like in the experience with somebody. Now, that's a wonderful feeling. Now, let's say we're not used to that feeling. Let's say we grew up in a very abusive kind of family, and it wasn't safe. Or that, let's say you've had an experience with being with somebody, and sometimes it's just wonderful and you feel so close, and then all of a sudden they get triggered, their anger is triggered, their rage, maybe they've been drinking, or maybe it's just an emotional trigger or something, or maybe they're just scared of being that close, and then all of a sudden they're beating you up. And then what happens to that feeling of oneness? It's all gone. And when the kindness is gone, the oneness is gone. So supposing you've had a lot of that experience in your life, and I bet you have, So then what happens in those situations is that you're going to immediately guard yourself. So, okay, when you're experiencing kindness, do you say, wow, this is very cool, I love this, I think I'm just going to go into the zone, But there might be fear inside, like, this is a fraud. First of all, we don't know if that person really means it, or they're just shining us on, right? Are they really kind, or are they trying to get us to buy something, right? Or is this going to last, or are they going to clobber us in the next 15 minutes?
Yeah, do
So,
they want something from us?
do they want something from, or are they going to hurt us? So, you would think that our reaction to kindness would be to go into that relaxation place where we can begin to connect and we start feeling that divine energy. But sometimes we're too scared because of our experiences, because we've been brutalized or tricked before. And so then instead of going from kindness to relaxation, we go from kindness to tension. That someone else's kindness makes us tense. Now, I'd like you to think about which one of those you do while I'm going on. So what does this have to do with channeling divine consciousness? Well, that's just the way it is, honey. Nobody's written to us yet, and not since Todd said hi. When you're channeling divine consciousness, that means that you are no longer thinking from your fear. You're no longer thinking from your opinions. You're probably not even thinking. You're just kind of like open, and you are gaining information. You're picking up information from the universe. Oh my goodness, there's a thunderstorm coming, right? Now, let's take something very simple. Oh my God, there's a thunderstorm coming. I should have known that because I saw the lightning. But if I'm all busy obsessing about myself or defending or planning my next strategy of how I'm going to make more money or whatever it is, I'm not even noticing that there was lightning. Uh-oh, thunderstorm. Or I've just been, killed by a lightning strike. So they said, like, how did you know that a thunderstorm was coming? Well, I was looking and I saw the lightning. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, that when we stop having all these agendas and worries and thoughts, we actually are available to the information. You see, I said that the divine consciousness is about seeing what's right in front of your nose but that you don't see, because you don't see it because you're too scared, you're too obsessed, you're too busy making other plans. Do you see what I'm saying? So then you can start channeling divine consciousness. Maybe something for you as simple as beginning to pick up information from the universe about the people around you. Oh my, I see. Instead of getting angry at so-and-so for acting like a jerk, oh, I get it. I know why they're acting like a jerk. I can feel all of a sudden that they're scared of something. And I can actually address that fear. Oh my God, So that's because you're getting the information. You're seeing what's in front of your nose that you can't see when you're too angry, too opinionated. I shouldn't say you, because this is me too. We all have this. So those people who think, oh, it would be really cool to be able to channel divine consciousness, like you do, Beth. You're an intuitive. I am very, very, very intuitive. Well, maybe the first thing is to recognize that we have to be able to connect to others and to the universe in order to get the information that is there, that is coming to us all the time, that is from a higher level. I'm calling it higher, a more neutral level than what we get in our normal everyday life, where we are too busy judging, reacting, and being angry. Now, I haven't seen a comment from anybody about whether you have a tendency to relax into that kindness or you have a tendency to get scared and be defensive. But I would like to suggest to you that for our next show, you try to experiment with simply being relaxed around kindness. Notice when there's kindness in your space, whether it's your kid, your spouse, your coworker, somebody on the bus, someone who smiles at you at the grocery store. Look at that and notice, oh, Todd said that's a great idea to experiment. Thank you, Todd. I'm glad this is making sense to somebody.
And I would like to make a comment when the time is right.
So as you see, actually start to observe the kindness that is around you, even if 90% of your life sucks, right? Notice the kindness that is around you and start noticing your reaction. Yes, James?
Yes, there's something that came to me the other day. I was on a call with a couple of other students in your intuition training. And what came to me is that life goes better when we stay connected in the we with others. And since I've been practicing that, I've been feeling more connected and more in oneness with you and more peaceful and content and safe. There's something really magical that happens, cultivating being in the we and staying connected with
Absolutely
others.
true. And by the way, we have another comment. Elizabeth said, I think I've reacted both ways. If it feels genuine, then I relax. If I feel it's not genuine, I don't relax. And that's a very good point because, Elizabeth, you may be, in fact, channeling divine consciousness because you are on the unconscious level picking up that it isn't genuine, and therefore you shouldn't be relaxing because it's not coming to you as a positive vibe. And at the same time, sometimes it's our own fear that's telling us that it's not genuine when it is, and that's tricky. Todd said it's hard to comment without losing what you are saying. I can understand that. Todd says, while I am commenting, I'm not following what you were saying. Well, that's fine because I'm having trouble following myself too. But you can always go back and watch this again and pick up what I'm saying. So the bottom line is that our experiment is when we're noticing kindness, that we check in with how we are reacting. Are we being suspicious? Are we allowing ourselves to be more in the we? Are we giving that other person even a chance? Or are we just really picking up what is there, which is wise then to protect ourselves? And so this is maybe just the first of a series of talks that I'm going to be giving on the topic of channeling divine consciousness, because today we're just starting with something very simple. What is divine consciousness? Well, it's the ability to see past our egoic way of looking at the world, right? That's the first thing. And one of the simplest ways to do that is to relax into relating to others, and then it's remarkable how much more we will pick up and will understand. So I think I'd better shut up, because I didn't think I could get started, but now I can't stop. So is there anything else that anyone would like to share before we close for tonight? Don't forget that on Thursday nights now, I will be channeling divine consciousness through my fingers.
Through music.
Through music. Dreams of Peace at 7 o'clock Pacific time on this very Facebook page, playing the acoustic piano. We will be back.
The grand piano, yeah.
So, this is a long comment. Amy, I've been thinking about taking a course in proofreading, which I love, for years, but all of a sudden I checked one out online today. I liked what I heard in the information video and felt connected to the instructor, who just felt genuine to me. Even though the course will cost money, it just feels right to do it. Normally I'm very suspicious of anyone selling anything, but this time I was relaxed. That is very good, Amy. And Todd said thank you. And I say, thank you back. And I'll see you on Wednesday at 6:30. Hopefully I will have a brain. And we will continue working on bringing through a level of consciousness that this planet desperately needs.
And also at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, we'll have our growth discussion group,
right,
led by Granny.
That's right.
Where we'll have the opportunity to go much more deeply into how you experience these kinds of things.
Right, and all the information about that is on the post, and we have all our events posted and all of that. Thank you so much. Love you. I love you very much.
Bye-bye for now.
Oh, there's Shauna. I said thank you, too. Love listening to you both.
Oh,
Thank you, Shauna. Bye-bye, honey. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye.